We will go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar today. My name is Adina Marabi. I'm the partnerships team lead here at Okendo, and I'd like to welcome you to Mastering Customer Loyalty, 6 strategies to acquire, foster, and retain loyal customers in 2024. Just a few housekeeping items. Please enter all questions in the chat throughout the presentation. Make sure to send to panelists and attendees or everyone if you have any questions. Representatives from each organization will be in the chat to answer your questions live, and you will receive a recording and copy of the presentation within 24 hours of the webinar. First up, I will go ahead and get started. Excited to be here today. A little bit about me. Again, I'm the partnerships team lead here at Okendo, and I've been in e-commerce for about 5 or 6 years now. I've been with Okendo over 2.5 years, and prior to joining the team here, I was at Mute6, the performance marketing agency in LA. And over at the agency, I was head of strategic partnerships, overseeing all of our technology and agency partnerships. Something that we can all agree on is that your most powerful assets are your customers. So brands must capitalize on this traffic and really take advantage of the huge opportunity in front of them to convert and retain customers. Okendo helps brands turn their customers into super fans. What is a super fan, you may ask? Super fans are customers with a high LTV. They're highly engaged with your brand. They often have meaningful social reach and influence, and they're willing to collaborate with you on acquisition activities. Almost every brand has some number of super fans. And what I'll be covering today is how brands can create super fans through compelling shoppers, engaging buyers, and finally activating your super fan. A little bit about Okendo. We're a customer marketing platform that helps brands cultivate brand advocacy, scale your word of mouth marketing, and maximize lifetime value through reviews, referrals, quizzes, surveys, and coming soon through loyalty. We make it easy to cultivate advocacy and again, scale that word of mouth marketing. We work with over 9,000 brands on Shopify and Shopify Plus. You might recognize some of these here on the screen. And we like to say, if you've ever bought anything online, you've probably interacted with Okendo before. During my presentation today, I'm going to talk about how you can leverage the power of your Shopify customer base to compel new shoppers, engage your buyers, and activate those super fans. First topic today is how to compel new shoppers. 47% of consumers are more likely to click through a social media post or ad if ratings and reviews are highlighted. One great strategy is to use those reviews in your ad creative to help build that social proof and credibility and acquire those new loyal customers. Some of the highest converting ad types aren't those that are super high production quality. Sometimes, it's really the scrappy, or what we like to call UGC mashup ads that have the highest conversion rates. And these ads that show real people, using your product, how they love using it, photos and videos, has little sound bites in there. And this can all be collected from your review strategy and cut together and put into an authentic ad. You can see here, this example on the screen is from our client Array. They are a supplement company, and they use reviews in their ad copy, talking about, after dealing with bloating for years and never knowing what is safe to eat that day, it's so relieving to finally find something that actually helps. And we found that these kinds of ads convert really well. Another stat for you is that referrals convert 4 times higher than the average rate of all acquisition channels. And 37% of people are highly influenced to purchase based on family and friend recommendations. So brands should really look at generating referrals from their existing customer base. You can ask your 5-star reviewers or maybe your Net Promoter Score customers to refer their friends. A good strategy is to offer incentives to both the referrer and the referral recipient, which encourages new customers to try your product and also increases your customer lifetime value from existing shoppers that come back to your store using that incentive reward. I have a case study here from our client, the College & Co. They saw a 20x ROI from their Okendo referral program and a 9.7% conversion rate from their referral request in just 1 month of launching the program. So really crazy to see the ROI on that. Very easy strategy to implement. The next step is to engage your buyers. One way you can do that is by implementing a quiz. With Okendo quizzes, brands see immediate impact. One brand saw a 17% conversion rate and a 25x ROI within just days of launching a quiz. You can increase conversion and sales with product recommendation quiz. You can offer a fun and interactive guided shopping experience, offer that personalized product recommendation, which helps buyers make faster and better purchase decisions. And you can also use quizzes to collect zero-party data to power more personalized marketing and driven retention efforts, especially across your SMS strategy on Postscript, which we'll hear more from today. I have a case study here on our client Cyclone Pods, who's utilizing Okendo quizzes to deliver the best customer experience through product recommendations. They saw a 147x ROI from their Okendo quizzes, which is absolutely insane, a 19% conversion rate, and a 60% decrease in customer support tickets related to product questions because they were able to give those tailored product recommendations to their customers. 99% of consumers read reviews while shopping online. I'm sure we can all agree. And 84% of consumers look at ratings and reviews when considering in-store purchases. So it's very important that you showcase robust reviews and social proof to help increase conversion on your website. You can use photo and video reviews. You can include customer attributes. Here's an example from our client, Ilya. You can see they're collecting information from their customers around skin type, skin tone, undertone, and age range. Great way to showcase those, customer characteristics and help new shoppers make purchasing decision based on previous customers that look like them. You can also use product attributes to highlight key selling points of your product and brand. And you can use search filters to shorten the customer journey and increase their chances of checking out. You can use media galleries. You can see this example here from Ilya. That really helps showcase UGC that you're collecting. And lastly, you want to make sure that you customize your reviews widget to match the look and feel of your brand. Another tip for you is to include reviews in your abandoned cart and product upsell emails to add that social proof and credibility. You can see in the example from the left, Jenny Bird is showcasing that the Faye Knockers have over 150 5-star reviews. And on the right, Skims is dynamically injecting star ratings and reviews into their abandoned cart email. Last up is how to activate your super fans. 73% of consumers say that they'd be motivated to write a review if they were offered an incentive. So one big tip I have for you is to utilize those incentives to generate more reviews and UGC. You can use incentives to increase customer lifetime value as well. You can offer incentives to maximize review and survey completion rates. You can offer different incentives, including discount codes or coupons. You can offer loyalty points. You can also tier your incentives based on the desired action. So kind of gamifying those incentives For example, if you want to collect more video reviews, you may choose to offer a higher discount code or coupon or loyalty points for that action. Incentives really help encourage shoppers to come back and purchase from you again, so it does drive that customer loyalty strategy. Coming soon in Q2, brands will be able to utilize Okendo Loyalty to build a compelling loyalty program. You'll be able to leverage Okendo Loyalty to retain loyal customers with flexible rewards that keep them coming back. You can also customize your loyalty program based on unique merchant needs, and attract new customers with special referral rewards. So stay tuned. Make sure you're signed up to our newsletter, and you'll get more information on Okendo Loyalty. I have a special offer for everyone on the call today. We're happy to give you your first 60 days free of Okendo reviews, surveys, referrals, and quizzes. Offer valid through February 24th. And with that, I will hand it over to John Coyle from Triple Whale.
Awesome. Thank you. So let me get my screen up here. All right, yes. Everybody can see that.
Good to go.
What's up, everybody? My name is John Coyle. I am the head of professional services at Triple Whale. Professional services is basically just a fancy way of saying consulting. I don't know. It's a tech thing. I want to talk about how to actually get more high value customers. So quick background on me. There we go. Quick background on me. The short version here is, just so I can kind of get right into this. I've been selling stuff on the internet for like 10 or 12 years. And now my job at Triple Whale is to help other brands sell their stuff on the internet and to coach them through that. That is a picture of my family. It is all girls. They are very cute. I know, I made them myself. I basically just put that there so you all would like me more. So hopefully that worked. Triple Whale is the best way I can describe Triple Whale, I think, and how I kind of describe it to like people who are not in this industry is it's like a scoreboard for your business, right? So it takes all of the traffic sources and it takes all of the places that you sell and it sort of aggregates that so you can see which traffic sources are profitable, which products are doing well, all the stats that you need to know for your business in order to make good decisions. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. We're going to talk about, you know, how you can use some of that data to power your growth, power profitable growth by getting better customers. We work with a lot of awesome brands. Here's that obligatory slide with logos on it. Okay, so if we watch The Office, you know, 10 years ago, if you're an Office fan like I am, Ryan taught us that it is 10 times more expensive to sign a new customer than to upsell an old one. So it's always cheaper to retain a customer than acquire a new one. But I have a big but here. I think that sometimes we get too focused on what we can do on the backside after we've already acquired the customer. And we don't think about what my buddy Matt Damon says, which is garbage in, garbage out, right? If you don't get the types of customers into your business that will be good long-term customers, there's not really much you can do about that. They're just not a good fit for your business. So a little story here. I was working with this brand. I had kind of lowered their acquisition cost by a lot. And we really worked a ton on their ads, on their landing page, and on their front end offer. And we'd really worked around like the products that we were offering and the bundle and the offer that we could do on the front end. And we'd cut their acquisition cost in like half over 3 months. I can't remember, it was like 65 and it was in the 30s. And we still just weren't scaling. We're acquiring profitably, but we weren't scaling. And I'm telling a friend about this, like just kind of like another friend who has a brand. And he's like, John, do you hunt? And I was like, no, I don't hunt. And he goes, I don't care. I'm going to tell you a hunting analogy anyway. He goes, you got to find your elk. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And he says, if you and I were to go hunting, just the two of us, and our goal was to try and feed our family through all of winter, right? We wanted to get 4 months of food for our family. And it's just the two of us. What should we hunt? Should we hunt rabbits? I'm like, probably not rabbits. We'd have to catch like hundreds of them. I don't even know like how we would do that. We'd need a whole process. He goes, yeah, cool. How about elephants? Should we hunt elephants? No, probably not. Even if we got to Africa and we took down an elephant, the two of us wouldn't be able to lift it. And he goes, no, we should hunt elk because elk would feed our family for the whole winter and the two of us could handle an elk, right? Every business has their elk. has their perfect customers that are just kind of like perfect fits for their business. So the main thing is to find your elk. So next natural question, how do you find your elk? Well, when you're hunting, you got to think, if you want a big elk with antlers, you got to attract it by making it think you're a lady elk. So you got to figure out what it wants. Here's how you figure out what it wants. Luckily, you have this data already. You don't have to go searching for this data. This data is already in your business. So this is called a cohort analysis. It's a little confusing. So I'm going to break it down for any of y'all who have not seen a cohort analysis before. On the rows, we basically have months, right? And I know this might be kind of small depending on the screen you're looking at. So I'll try and read it to you. On the rows, we have months. In this one, it goes all the way back to January 2022 and it ends at January 2024. So we have 2 years worth of months. We have 24 rows right there. And then in the columns is basically how much that customer has spent with us in each successive month. So how much was their first order worth? How much did they spend with us by the end of month 1? How much did they spend by the end of month 2, month 3? All right. So you already have this data in your business if you've been around for any period of time. So how do you find your elk? Pretty simple. I like to start at about month 9. I get 2 years worth of data if I can. I like to start at about month 9. And I like to just circle areas where the color is darker. We grade the color for you. It's very simple. Just circle the areas where the color is darker and then work backwards from month 9, 8, 7, 6, and just keep circling those areas in the columns where the colors are darker. Pretty soon you'll start to realize there are certain months where I seem to be circling it a lot. So you can sort of like horizontally circle those sections of months and say, hey, whatever we were doing in these months, that got a lot of elk. That got a lot of our ideal customers who were willing to spend with us over time. What were we doing? What was the traffic source? So then you're going to break this down. And you can redline months that were a little bit lighter, right? Whatever we did in these months, that did not get us elk, right? Maybe it got us a lot of customers, but it didn't get us elk. Caught us a lot of rabbits. So then you can break this down, right? So you're looking at what was the traffic source? Where did they come from? Did they come from Facebook? Did they come from influencers? What was the product? What were what's the front end product that a lot of our new customers were buying? And what was the offer they were buying on? Was it a 20% off? Was it a bundle? What was it? What were we doing in those months? Let's do more of that. Let's recreate that. Where do your elk hang out? What do they want and what attracts them? That's basically what you're answering there. And you can break down that cohort analysis by like all those things as well. So that's one thing you can do to find out. So how else can you learn what your top customers like? Well, you could try calling them. I know it's crazy. We do everything on the internet. The reason I do everything on the internet is because I don't really like picking up the phone and dialing a phone number. But if you look at your top 5% to 20% of your customers, they've spent a lot of money with you. They'd probably be pretty willing to hop on the phone and talk to you if you just reached out to them. So you could call them. All right. So when you call them, what do you say? You get over the anxiety, you hyperventilate a little bit, you pick up the phone and you dial. What do you say? So you're looking for questions in 2 categories. All right. So the first one is you could actually just be a human and have a human conversation with them and get to know them a little bit. You're asking questions about like their, age, gender, you might know that already, family makeup, occupation, day-to-day life, values. The goal here, this is a good goal. This is a good way to think about this part of the conversation. You want to be able to make a meme about them, right? Like make a meme about that individual person that they would find funny because they're like, oh, that's true. I'm totally like that, right? So that's what you want to be able to do in that section of the conversation. And then the other kind of vein or section of questions that you want to ask is use cases. What are they using the product for? When are they using it? Who are they with when they're using it? Why does it work for them better than other things? You're just like looking for use cases, how they're using it. Why do they keep buying more of this, honestly? Or why do they keep buying more products from you? So this is what you're going to discover. It's going to be one of 2 things. It's probably not going to be both of these. Could be both, but it's probably going to be one of these 2 things. You're either going to discover that your customers, your top customers, your elk, they're a vibe, right? There are something in that first set of questions where the meme that you would make about them, meme that you would make about the individual person is actually pretty applicable to like all the people that you talk to. So best example of this that's popular right now is the Stanley girlies, right? Stanley drinkware, I suppose. Tons of memes out there about this. I actually have a Stanley myself, so I am her. But yeah, Stanley, you're just going to discover, oh, there's like just a certain vibe, a certain thing that they're into, or there's certain commonality. It's a lot of women with kids, whatever it is. There's certain common things that in their life that connect them, right? what do you know now? Now you know how to talk to them. Now you know what kind of ads to create. You know how to just attract more elk, right? Or you're going to discover some use cases that you probably didn't expect, right? So they're using it in ways or with people or for things or as an alternative to something that you just didn't expect. Oftentimes, you know, a really common one is gifting. Brands think that people are buying this for themselves when really they're often buying it as a gift. Just different things like that. So again, this can actually help deter you, right? Like maybe I do want to, you know, launch a new product for those people who are buying as a gift. I'd launch a new buy for self product, right? So I worked with a men's brand where we sold like wallets and stuff like that. We realized a lot of women are buying this as gifts. They drop a women's product. They dropped a line of women's products. Those are their best selling products now, because now those women can buy for self, right? So you're just kind of like looking for use cases and things about your product. So there's no vibe, there's no commonality between all of your people, but you're just starting to realize, hey, they're using my products in ways that maybe I didn't expect. This is it, guys. It's short and sweet. Wanted to give you some quick actionable stuff that you could take with you. If you want to follow me, I'm at John JH Coyle on all the socials. I'm probably most active on Twitter. You can email me there, john.coyle@triplewhale.com. I have a podcast called Modern Commerce. There's 2 shows called Modern Commerce. I was first. Somebody copied me. It's the logo that looks like that. That QR code, if you want to give that a little scan, that'll bring you to my calendar. If I went through this, because this is very high level, this maybe doesn't apply to newer brands or different kinds of brands. Happy to walk through this with you, you know, or just brainstorm ways for you to find your elk if you don't think either of these ways will work for you. So hit the calendar link there, hit the QR code. And that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, John. That was amazing. I have never seen so many funny photos and GIFs in a row. You'll have to teach me
I'm a lot of sizzle, a lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak.
You'll have to teach me where you find all of those, because those are amazing. Cool. Next up, we have Albert Liu from retention.com. If you want to share your screen and join. Awesome. Thank you. We can see.
Perfect. Hey, everybody. My name is Albert. I'm from retention.com. I would have loved to put funny memes into my presentation as well, but due to prior offenses, HR has not allowed me to do that anymore. So we're going to go through this professionally. A little bit about retention.com. Hopefully many of you have heard of us before, but if you haven't, we are basically a identity resolution software that helps you with lead gen. And we have a couple of different features that I'll be talking you through today that will help you hopefully in 2024 in your acquisition and retention initiatives. So here are some brands that use us today. You're probably familiar with some of these. We're trusted by over a couple thousand. I don't know what the total count is now, but 3,000 is what we're advertising. But so let me go through here. Your challenges, these are probably things that you're facing today and have been facing ever since you started your brand or worked at a brand. Growing email lists is hard. I think the industry average is around 2% for website visitors that, you know, enter their email address through the capture. Some brands do it better, some do it worse. I think it just depends, but I think the industry standard or average is around 2%. Cart abandonment messages are really great. We all know that these work, but one thing that you probably don't know is that it's only being sent to people that have been identified or logged in by your ESP. So that's only a fraction of the total abandons that you potentially could be reaching. And the third thing is obviously with cookie wars and Apple's iOS changes, meta audiences and retargeting and paid ads, all of these have become much more challenging in today's climate. But lucky for you, these are all things that retention.com can help you with. So we enable 3 entirely new audiences for you with our 3 products. And I'll talk you through each one in a little bit more detail. But you can see here on the left, without retention.com, around 3 to 5% of your traffic is probably known to you today or logged in. As many of you know, not everybody logs into their account when you're visiting your Shopify store, unless, you know, they're checking on an order or doing something specific with like their loyalty program, these types of things, right? So a lot of anonymous traffic is hitting your website. You don't really know who they are. You maybe see that they look at some products or they do some interactions, but then they bounce and then you maybe never see them again. Well, retention.com can actually help by identifying some of those folks and then doing a couple of different things depending on who they are and what actions they've taken. So you can see here with our tools on the right, you can get up to 80% lift in identification rates, which then increases a couple of different areas of your business that we'll talk through now. But a little bit more in depth on how this works and what we do. So you'll see on the far left there is your current website traffic, right? So 100% of your visitors are on the far left. So when they hit your website, retention.com can identify up to 80% of those visitors today. But from there, we do a couple of different things. One, we check to see if they already opted in to any of your lists, whether that's email or SMS. If they have, great. We won't do anything because we're not trying to take credit for stuff that you've already earned. But if they haven't, then we go through a series of checks and filters to make sure that one, we're providing you high quality and relevant emails, and two, protecting your deliverability and sender scores. So we'll check to make sure that they're compliant, which means that they have to be US based. We'll check to make sure they're not on any do not email or unsubscribe lists already. We'll check to make sure they're not a honeypot or a spam bot. If you don't know what those are, they're basically like fake email addresses that a lot of the providers put together and sell. So if you email those addresses, they know you got it in unsavory ways. Then they put you on the naughty list. And then last, we make sure that there's activity. So the address has had to have opened an email in the past 7 days. And if it meets all these requirements, then retention.com then will pass that identity back to you as the brand for you to market to, whether that's via, email or retargeting ads. So the first product is called Grow, and it does kind of what it says. It helps you grow your email list faster. So going through that series of checks at the end of that on the previous slide that I showed you, if it's a totally net new customer, we can then provide you that email address, and then you can market to that person and try to get them to convert into a real customer. And a lot of brands generally will do what we advise is you take your welcome series and you duplicate that, make some modifications, and then retention.com will push our audience into a separate audience segment. And then you will then use that in the duplicated flow. And you can clearly see then what the performance is based on your organic list that you've been doing versus what we are pushing in as retention.com. So ROI is then easy to calculate and very seamless, not a lot of, double attribution, these types of things that you have to worry about. So if you see here, one of the case studies we have is Dr. Squatch, pretty popular brand. They make soaps and like shampoos and these types of things for men. They were kind of hesitant to work with us in the very beginning, and there's a great testimonial that their VP of marketing shot. So if you're interested, happy to send that over, or you can Google it on YouTube. But basically, they talk about the concerns that they had, then the reasons why they moved forward, and then they went through this kind of like pilot with us. So you can see here, we do the site identification, which is 80%. We check the activity, which is up to 65% then, and then we pass only engaged and deliverable emails to your ESP, which is then up to 30%. And the results that Dr. Squatch saw, not this past holiday season, but the holiday before, our list that we provided had a higher performance than their organic list. Now, this is obviously not a typical sort of result, but it is kind of frequent, right? So I'm not going to sell you the dream here and tell you, everything's going to be rainbows and sunshine. There's obviously going to be, results will vary, but the beauty is our team will work with you to figure out what is the best result for you and how to protect your, deliverability, spam rates, all these things. But, Dr. Squatch saw 1 million incremental revenue during their holiday season, peak season in November. You can see here 50x ROI for them. Klaviyo also did a audit in terms of deliverability because there was concerns about, and we'll talk about this at the end, a little bit about misconceptions and things about like that nature. But you can see here really successful for Dr. Squatch. I've been at retention for almost 8 months now, and I can tell you that not everybody is a Dr. Squatch, but even the mid-sized brands that are still recognizable do get pretty good returns, right? So we're talking somewhere between 5 to 10x ROI still. So just depends on a couple of different factors in terms of what your business is, what your AOV is, how many emails you're sending, these types of things. Second product, Reclaim. So what this is it helps you boost your abandoned cart flows. What we can do is when we identify people, we can then pass that through your ESP, like I mentioned earlier. And if they've already subscribed, but let's say you didn't know that they're on this device or this browser, we can help you stitch those identities together. Then you can send more abandoned cart emails or abandoned cart SMSs, right? So typical example is me, Albert. I usually like to shop on my home PC. But if I start browsing on a tablet or on my phone, you may not know that that's also me because maybe I've never purchased or I've never logged in on that device. Well, with retention, we can identify that that's also me, Albert, and I can then tell your ESP, hey, this is also Albert who looked at these products or maybe added to cart. And then you can send that same triggered abandoned cart flow. And from there, you can see we can get 5 to 10x more emails sent, and then that generates more revenue. So the calculator we generally use is that whatever you're doing in abandoned cart flows today, you can take 50% of that, and that's what retention.com will add incrementally to your current campaigns and automations that you're running. So client example, Blissy, if you're not familiar, they make like silk pillowcases, very nice. And they saw a 139% revenue lift using Reclaim. So before they were doing something around 20,000 ish in terms of 14% of their visitors were, getting abandoned cart messages. After using retention.com, you can see here the results. 52% of visitors who had abandoned carts were getting those emails, and therefore the revenue went up significantly as well. And this is also very easy to set up. It's very similar to what I described with our Grow product. You duplicate your abandoned cart flow. We will then push our audience into a separate segment. Then you push that segment into the duplicated flow, and then you can clearly see what you were doing pre-retention versus what retention brings, and compare that to generate an ROI number. Last thing that we have is meta persistent audiences. And what this is basically all the identities that we provide to the brand, they are owned by you. They become your data. So let's say you use retention for a year. At the end of that year, all the identities that you've collected, you own. So you can keep that into perpetuity. And with that, you can then export and push that into Meta and create retargeting campaigns around people who have actually visited your website rather than relying on Meta's lookalike audience algorithms. And we've seen a lot of success here with a lot of brands that have been using this, where the efficiencies have increased significantly because these are people who actually visited your website and maybe looked at a couple products, maybe didn't add to cart, maybe didn't drop an email, anything like that. So then you can target them with your retargeting ads in the same way, duplicate your campaign, set up a different audience, push all the retention.com identities into that audience, and then test our audience against your existing Meta retargeting campaigns to see which one performs better. All right, so probably a lot of questions. Is this legal? The way I like to phrase it is, here in America, we are a more entrepreneurial country than most. And so we are an opt-out country and not an opt-in. And that's important because in a lot of other countries like the UK, Canada, you have to get specific opt-in or consent to email someone. Whereas in the US, you just have to give them the ability to say, do not email me or unsubscribe, which is built into most modern email platforms. I'm sure everybody on this webinar has gotten, random emails from people that offered to sell you gift cards or email lists or whatever it might be. So you can tell that in America, this is totally legal. Other misconceptions that you might have heard about us, we ruin your deliverability, or, we're selling you a bunch of emails from either other brands or unsavory, methods. These are all untrue. We actually source our data from all legit first-party publishers, and we use a network of a few thousand of these. So think of sweepstakes.com and some other websites that are similar, Target, Walmart. All of them, if you ever read a EULA in your life, will say that they can sell your data whenever they like to, and that's why a lot of this is legal. CCPA also is a kind of a thing if you're California-based like me. But what you don't know about CCPA is that it's pretty niche. You have to be a California-based business. You have to have more than 50% of your customers based in California and a revenue of over, I think, $20 million. So if you fall into that bucket and you're worried about CCPA, we can actually turn off California completely if that's something that is, you know, a risk-averse type thing for you. Totally able to do that. And I didn't have a, you know, offer slide, which I should have put in, but something that we do offer in all of our contracts is a 60-day opt-out. So it's not a free trial, but it is a 60-day opt-out. So you can try retention.com for 60 days and see if it works for you. If it doesn't, you can walk away. There's no termination fees, no, you know, gotcha clauses, anything like that. We do that because we are confident that our product works and we want our customers to see the value and feel good about entering into a contract with us.
Thank you
And that's
so much,
it.
Albert. That was amazing. Thank you for the insight and super impressive stats with Dr. Squatch. That's pretty amazing to see them getting such high rates on their emails. Cool. Next up, we have Jen Rogers from ShipBob.
Awesome. And you can see my screen then. Perfect. Okay. Well, again, don't have any fun memes, gifts, but hopefully you're excited and pumped to learn about delivering the ultimate shopper experience. Oops. That did not work. Ta-da. Sorry, guys, some technical difficulties on this side. 1 second.
Wouldn't be a webinar without at least
I
one.
know. I had a broken computer this morning and it was on with IT at 7:30 in the morning, so I apologize.
No problem.
Okay,
Oh, yep, go ahead.
take 2. Okay, we should be good to go. There we are. Okay, so this is me. Again, Jen Rogers. I'm the manager of our revenue enablement team. And really excited to be talking to you all today and teaching you more about ShipBob. So if you are not familiar with ShipBob, before we dive in, we help brands fulfill their orders across all sales channels. There's really 3 things here that I want to highlight. We work with businesses of all sizes, so ranging from Fortune 1000 companies to the fastest growing D2C brands, to people who are really just getting started. So providing them with access to the best in class supply chain capabilities. Second, we help you optimize fulfillment operations in your own fulfillment centers with our ShipBob WMS. So you don't actually have to use our warehouses and you can outsource using our technology to pick, pack, and ship. Or you can use our facilities all over the world now in the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia. And then last, we're trusted by thousands of brands globally to build a scalable, affordable fulfillment strategy and fulfill orders with seamless omni-channel connectivity. So the ShipBob platform provides merchants with a single view of their business and customers across all of their sales channels and really enables them to manage their products, their inventory, orders, and shipments and leverage those real-time analytics and reporting. So why is this important? The biggest key to thriving this year is investing in one brand asset, customer loyalty. And a great way to increase that loyalty and customer satisfaction is by setting up your supply chain for success. And from our aspects, what we would say here is you really can't predict if a snowstorm will hit. I think we've seen that, you know, in Texas where it doesn't typically snow. We've seen it shut down our warehouses when a major trade route will be blocked by a container ship or any other event that is really unpredictable can prevent your products from getting to a customer. And that's why creating a resilient and flexible supply chain is really incredibly important, and ShipBob can help you do that. So quick, reliable shipping and fulfillment is a start to that strong customer experience. When it comes to fulfillment center location, one of the most important considerations is if it's near your customers. Since customers likely don't all reside in one single geographic region, using one fulfillment center can make it nearly impossible to efficiently reach the majority of people you buy from. And that's where we recommend distributed inventory. And you can see in that top map, the zones. If you're really in that one location, for example, in Southern California, it's going to take a long time to get to those customers on the other side of the country, and really isn't that optimized customer experience. So here at ShipBob, we'll look at order history and that customer data to see where your customers are located, and then place your inventory closer to those areas. Benefits of that include improving inventory availability. So we talk about that risk mitigation. Dallas has snowstorms, shuts down, not an issue. You have inventory all across the country and we can still keep shipping. Splitting inventory is really, really key these days in that unpredictable, weather and geography. Delivering on those fast shipping expectations. Amazon is a tough competitor, and we know that they have crazy, shipping and can get there no matter what the weather is, no matter how fast you ask for it, they seem to get it there. And our proprietary algorithm finds the fastest and the most affordable shipping rate by using a combination of ship options to provide that really cost-effective rate and provide on-time delivery too. And then last but not least, being able to split into multiple locations also just decreases shipping time and shipping costs. So once your supply chain is optimized, you're really going to want to ensure then that you're tracking your inventory and your orders accurately. And that brings me to my next point. Digitizing your warehouse management is really then critical to scaling your brand. Brands should have control of demand planning and inventory forecasting to really make sure that they are mitigating any stagnant inventory. A connected warehouse management software allows you to have full visibility over your inventory and know those levels at any time. 46% of consumers move to competitors who have the products they want in stock. So if you don't have a product in stock on your website, you're going to lose out on that customer. So it's really important to know at all times how much inventory you have and to be able to make sure that your website is accurate and that you're able to reorder and place those orders in a timely manner. By using data and technology, it really makes it, possible to identify problems, make decisions, and then also communicate with partners at every step of the supply chain in real time. WMS benefits include that real-time global fulfillment visibility, connections to local carriers, automation and rule engines, and then really just less time spent on orders and inventory because you have access to technology and the data at your fingertips. And I think I can definitely say it's true if I've gone elsewhere because a product was not available. I think most of you probably have been in the same boat there. So moving on from setting up your supply chain for success, another way to increase retention is building trust and relationships with just that transparent communication. Consumers want their shopping to be personal, instant, and responsive in order to keep them around, and you really need to meet those expectations. So let's talk about how you can do that and how you can meet the customers where they're at. So once your inventory has been distributed strategically across the network, you'll actually be able to meet those fast delivery times and those expectations. One way to build that trust and those delivery promises is going to be ShipBob's 2-day product badging. So you can see here on the website, it has that delivery in 2-day, and it actually has the estimated date that it's expected to arrive. We call that our product badging. Sure, you've seen that on other websites as well, similar to an Amazon. This is proprietary to ShipBob though for us as well. And the Prime badges and our ShipBob badges have really changed the shopper expectations and the experience that a shopper wants to have. People want to know when to expect their package, and if they don't have an expectation of when to get it, they may again go elsewhere because they are going on vacation at the end of the week. They want to know that they are going to get their sunglasses in time to be leaving for their flight on Friday. So it's really, really important that as a brand, you're able to meet them where they're at and where they need to be in order to retain their business. And then taking that one step further, increasing conversion rates by displaying those clear real-time shipping data at checkout is really, really key. So displaying the estimated delivery dates just builds the trust through transparency. There's really no surprises then at the checkout. It converts more shoppers by reducing cart abandonment. Again, it increases conversions and can even increase the average order value when pairing it with free shipping thresholds. So thinking about girl math, I think everyone laughs about it, but free shipping over $50, people are likely to add $5 to their cart, $10 to their cart in order to get that free shipping. I see some smiles from the panelists here, so I think girl math may apply to all here. And then really just encouraging the repeat purchases as a result of the positive experience at checkout. But by consistently meeting or exceeding delivery expectations, you'll build a reputation for reliability, trustworthiness. And then I think it's something too that if you had a positive experience, word of mouth then goes really far too when telling others about it as well. So the last part of this is over communication. We love over communicating during the post-purchase journey with email and SMS. So we have integrations with tech leaders such as Gorgeous and Klaviyo to help you manage customer expectations with real-time support and delivery updates. So you may be seeing Wizmo. You want to get ahead of the Wizmo questions or the where is my order questions. If any of you are having that brand work on the customer service side, last thing you want are those emails saying, where is my order? If you provide that accurate, updates, those accurate, the accurate communication online, you can avoid that all up front, hopefully, by that clear, transparent communication. You can also just automate order and inventory notifications by using these partners. So you can set up rules to automatically let your customers know when the orders have been received, packaged, and sent out for delivery from a ShipBob facility. And also then setting up rules to alert customers when an item has been on exception, on hold, or back ordered as well. So again, maybe you don't have the product, but clear communication. And last but not least, just empowering your customer experience team too, enabling them with real-time fulfillment data. So key decisions and giving them the power to take action. So whether they're needing to cancel orders, add items to orders, giving them the information at their fingertips. So adding a special touch to your last mile experience is the last and really important differentiator that is going to help drive that ongoing loyalty, retention, and build awareness. So you can really delight shoppers, and I think this is a great example here with one of our merchants, Mad Tasty, but some of the key ways are adding gift notes. You've probably seen like a loyalty focused insert. You can do branded packaging like you see here. And then also we have options to either kit a package or bundle them just to drive that higher average order volume, and then subscription options. So lots of different options here. But as you can see, customers expect that, unique personal touch, and this is just some of the ways that ShipBob can help you do it. Okay, and I will send the link over in the chat, but we do have some promotions right now for everyone on the call. I will answer questions when I stop sharing if there are any in the chat, but definitely let me know if there's anything I can answer. And yeah, I will hand it off to the next speaker now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I love the reference to girl math. Definitely very guilty of doing that. And just adding another item to my cart just so I can get that free shipping. Up next, we have Paul Shuffleton from Postscript.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Great to meet everyone. Paul Shuffleton, Senior Customer Success Manager at Postscript, coming to you from the beautiful Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. If you haven't been to my little town called Stanton, it's basically like a Hallmark town, so definitely go check it out. A little travel rec for you. So today I'm here to talk about some retention and acquisition strategies with SMS specifically. So with SMS, there's a ton of different ways that you can drive acquisition and retention. Some of my favorites, making sure that you're keeping SMS very conversational. You're landing in an inbox right next to people's loved ones, their family members, their wives, their kids. So make sure that you're matching that sort of vibe there, right? We don't need to be super close with that. We can be more friendly. We can be more fun with it, right? Have a good time. Send some wonderful GIFs like our man John had in his presentation today. The other thing that you can do is get really personalized with your outreach through segmentation. At Postscript, we have a tool called SMS Sales, which connects your subscribers with dedicated reps, which is really helpful. They're total pros on your program, on all of your products, and can really give an a la carte service to them on helping them navigate your website, things like that, and build their own carts out, and really having that personal touch. Another one of my favorites, leveraging cashback. Cashback is a new tool that Postscript just rolled out. It's been really helping with boosting acquisition, boosting retention, driving more repeat purchases. But today I am here to spread the good news that is our on-site opt-in tool. So to show you what that looks like, our on-site opt-in is a new way of gathering SMS subscribers. So this is going to be directly on your pop-up. You can keep the exact same discount or cashback offer that you have currently. And what most opt-in methods today have someone do if they are wanting to compliantly opt in is they're going to have to put in their phone number, and then they're going to have to go to their messages and reply why or send another message in. And what that's doing is taking them off site. So it's doing a couple things. It's disrupting their flow. They're having to actually leave your website to opt in for SMS. A lot of times they're going to have to actually go through a link to get that discount or that coupon code. And it's really just going to break their entire role, right? So what on-site opt-in is going to allow them to do is go in, punch in their phone number, and then they're going to be sent a code right to their phone. And one of everyone's favorite tools that iPhone and Android came out with was if you're doing two-factor authentication, it will automatically input that code into the field that you click into. And that's exactly what on-site opt-in is allowing you to do. It's going to put that code right in the field. We have then confirmed that this subscriber owns that phone number, which is exactly what we need to stay fully compliant and not accidentally send to the wrong person, because whoever entered the number, fat fingered a couple digits, and then you're sending to someone who never heard of you before. So it's a really, really efficient way of getting new opt-ins. So in terms of why this is better, like I said, it's just going to be a cleaner customer experience. It just works well. It's really smooth. They don't have to leave the website to fully opt in. And it's also getting way more subscribers than other opt-in methods. And I'll show you an example of that in just a minute. But overall, one of the biggest impacts for my clients is that it is increasing total order conversions. It's keeping people on site. And most of all, it's not breaking attribution. That's one of the big issues with previous opt-in methods for SMS is that attribution would always break because they would have to go to their messages. They'd have to go through a link there. This is going to make sure that that does not happen, because it's going to fully auto-apply any cashback that you're using or coupon codes that you're using as well directly to cart. So they're not having to go anywhere else. It's all just going to flow perfectly for them. And to give you an example of what it looks like, because proof's in the pudding right here, you can see when folks were not using on-site opt-in in the green, And then on this particular brand, which has over 200 million in total annual revenue, the yellow portion is when they implemented on-site opt-in. It was night and day in terms of the total number of SMS subscribers. And I have screenshot after screenshot of results just like this across all the merchants that I've rolled this out on, who are seeing very, very similar results. It just works. It's a really fantastic tool, and it's boosting automation revenue. It's boosting total SMS revenue, because I think everyone knows if you're boosting acquisition, you're going to be boosting your revenue as well, because you have all those fresh folks who are coming in, want to learn about your brand, want to be sold to. And this is a really, really great way of getting that done. So we have a ton of case studies on this too, if you want to check those out, but highly recommend it. Like I said, it just works, and it's a really fantastic tool. And it's only a Postscript, so you got to go check out Postscript if you want to use that. But that is probably one of my biggest recommendations right now, is continue to work on your pop-ups. So either testing out the pop-up method like this, or if you were to test out images. I've seen images can have a huge impact on pop-ups as well. You wouldn't necessarily think so, but it can. So test those out, test out your copy, your language, everything that's being used in the pop-up, because that's one of the biggest things that you can do to continue to acquire more customers and get them to continue to know and love your brand like we all want. And that'll be it for me. Hope everyone enjoyed my on-site opt-in lesson today.
Thank you, Paul. That has to be definitely the fastest and most efficient use of time I've seen. Great presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. That concludes our webinar for today. I'd like to say thank you to each of our amazing speakers for sharing their insights. And thank you to everyone that joined. We will be sending out the recording in the next day. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any of the other wonderful speakers. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.